this, so you can do that. Do this, so you can do that. Do this, so you can do that.
Come on. Skip
Use
the
the
dot.
aisle locator on the in-store kiosk or the Canadian Tire app.
Skip it.
So you can do that. Do this, so you can do.
Oh, we've got Barb is here. Okay.
Use the aisle locator on the in-store kiosk.
Of course, it's got the delay, so we're getting that. Oh, I should turn the volume off. Okay, so hello Barb, hello Diana, hello Nancy. We're on a little earlier. Hi Jeannie. So I hope you can hear us and see us okay. Just let us know. Hi Donna. Because this is a totally different setup than we usually have, of course, because we're out in Vancouver. And we just came back from looking around. This is going to be tiresome on my hands, holding this up all the time to try and read things. Maybe I can put it on a thing. Hello, Patsy. Hello, Balloonist. Hello, Scrunchians. Barb says, nice to see you live. Yes, we're happy to be live. Alive. So I take it, Janet's here. Hi, Janet. So I take it you guys can all hear us okay. You look like twins. Oh,
almost. Yeah,
we're wearing the fashion by
we're wearing
Volley.
blue, yeah.
It's a Volley shirts. Yeah, we were out at Nordstrom's actually earlier. Pricing, you know, because Nordstrom's going out of business here in Canada, and there's a Nordstrom's a few blocks away from where we're staying, and we were checking out what they had on sale, and well, there was a lovely pair of Gucci running shoes that I could have had for 20% off. 20% off of $1,300. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there were any sales to be had. Yeah, Dalian says loud and clear. Great. And Dem is saying hello to anybody that's come on so far. Don't know how many people we're going to have. Oh, Stephanie's here. Hi, Stephanie. So, as you can see, we are sitting in our hotel room in downtown Vancouver, BC. We got here yesterday. Yeah, lovely piece of artwork behind us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice little place
It's
for
now
in.
7 degrees
Mhm.
Vancouver.
Yeah. Hi, Lucy.
We left. Was it 27-degree weather in where we were, to enjoy 7-degree weather here.
Oh, are you checking the lives too on that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. So we've got them everywhere. Yeah, so, yeah, it's raining a lot, all day, all night, all week. Hi, Heather.
Oh wow, we still hasn't stopped us from going out.
Mm-mm.
So
We have umbrellas. We drip dry. Except when my hair gets wet, it might go crusty. Product.
mine
shop.
got soaked earlier today. So.
Oh, can you tell? It's already dry.
Yeah.
That one hair just dries right up. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not here right now.
Yeah. Scrunchians goes raining in Vancouver. Yeah, who go figure, right? The usual. But usually this time of the year, they are warmer than we are out in central Ontario.
You know, mind you, come next week in Central Ontario, it'll be at the same temperature as Vancouver. So.
Yeah, so.
Except it might not be raining there. I don't know.
Hi, Kathleen. Yeah, we're not drinking beer at this point in time. We haven't done lunch yet. We got up relatively early. Oh yeah, you'll be shocked at this one. Walter was up so early, he beat the sun. Yeah. I woke up, well, okay, let's back up. Let's talk about what has been going on since, okay? Hello, Julie. So, we went to the Toronto airport on the Friday night because we had a room booked at the Alt Hotel, which is sort of a very, what would you call it? Sort of a no frills, no thrills.
Yeah, it's kind of a no frills hotel. It's a chain from Quebec, and they're not like non-luxury, but they're like, well, they call it the alternative hotel, which is a different concept. It's a little bit more modern looking inside, I suppose. And they're sort of a kind of a no frills hotel, but they're kind of between no frills and nice.
Yeah. They're sort of
They
meant
don't have
for,
a pool or anything.
no,
like
they're
that.
sort of meant as efficiency little room for people who, business travelers, basically.
The rooms are small, they're kind of clean. They are clean.
Well, they are clean.
They're kind of,
They're very Scandinavian in the way they're furbished.
refurbished. Like the walls are painted black inside and stuff like that.
We've stayed there before, and we know what we're getting, and it's fine. In fact, we ate there as well, and they didn't used to be able to. They used to have sort of a...
They used to have sort of like 7-Eleven
Bar.
kind of takeout sort of thing.
They had a bar area
Yeah.
where you get a beer or a glass of wine, and then they had like sandwiches and things in a cold chest, you know, kind of a thing on display. But now they have a wood-burning pizza oven.
Yeah.
And
And
so-
we had their pizza and it was actually pretty good.
I mean, it wasn't cheap. A personal pizza was what, $26?
Depending on which one you got.
Yeah.
They ranged from $20 to $26
So
for a personal one.
Yeah. So we had 2 beers, 2 drafts. Now, mind you, they were large drafts. We weren't going anywhere that night. They were 20-ounce drafts. We had 2 of those apiece, and we both had a pizza. And with the tip, the bill came to $119 Canadian dollars. Well, it was fine, but nothing's cheap. And of course, you're paying premium because you're staying, you know, basically at the airport. But there's other places to eat around there, but you have to like either drive, and once our car is parked in the parking garage on site, you pay for that too. And Walter had booked that all in advance, kind of a thing. And so, you know, we weren't taking the car back out again. And there's a little train, like a, what do you call it, an
Elevated train, sort of like the Disney kind of things that they have. And they travel to the each of the 2 terminals. So that's how we get from the hotel to the terminals. Yeah. And then there are some restaurants in the airport that we could have gone to. But we decided not to.
We decided not to bother. And so we did that, and that was fine. So the next day, our flight was going out at 12 noon, and you know, you're always supposed to be there even for a domestic flight a couple hours before. Walter they had this new thing since the last time we had flown out of Toronto, like 4 years ago, where you could book a time to go through security, which is interesting. And you booked it for 9:30 in the morning, and you have a half-hour window, so you could be there 15 minutes before that time or up to 15 minutes after that time. So basically a half-hour window from 9:15 to 9:45. Well, we were up, and what the heck are you going to do? So we trundled over to the airport. So we were definitely earlier. We got there at about 5 to 9. We knew we'd have to, Walter already had our boarding passes printed out and everything because he had done that because you can do that 24 hours before the flight goes out. So we had those in tow, but you have to go to a kiosk and get baggage. What do you call those?
Baggage tags.
Baggage tags, you know. And it's an automated system. Well, we've had experience with the kiosks before and never good. But this time, worked like a charm. I don't know if it was because we were on a domestic flight, because the only other time we've ever used them
Yeah,
has
well,
basically
yeah,
been for an
and
international.
then they have a automated drop for your baggage too, so that you just put it on the conveyor. And yeah, that was easy too.
Yeah, so, and then...
So we actually ended up getting, we had a booked time to go through security at 9:30.
and it was 10 after 9.
It was 10 after 9, so we said, I wonder if we can just go right now, right? And so we...
The security person that was there said,
yeah, she's, oh yeah, just go.
Just go.
Go. And we actually didn't go through that special line, the one that I booked. Turned out there was a zero line.
There was nobody.
There was nobody.
They were desperate for people to come through, and there's this big guy standing there at the thing, you know, and we had our little carry-on bags and kind of a deal. And he said something, and I didn't understand what he said. Something about small bags or something like that. And this guy was a giant. He was great, big, tall
Must have
guy.
been 7 feet tall.
Yeah, anyways, he was very pleasant, very nice. In fact, I couldn't believe the staff going through the security lines. They were all nice. Last time that we'd gone through one of those, it was like, don't breathe sideways because they will do a cavity search on you. And I said, okay. He said, do you have a laptop or anything? So I have an iPad. Do you want me to take it out? He says, no, just leave the bag on the side. I put my cell phone in the thing, and I didn't have anything in my pockets, just my wallet. I put that in, and then walked through the little, laser beam thing that will chop off your head, if they find that you've got metal on you. The guy waves me through. Yeah, okay, have a nice trip. Okay, we were through that in seconds. Didn't have to take off my belt, didn't have to take off my shoes. I was a little disappointed. I bought new shoes that would come on and go off really easy, purposely for this trip, but that's okay. And there we were. So now it's like not even 9:15 yet. What do we do? So we decided we'd go off and have brekkie, and went to a restaurant that was there. And the guy that waited on us there, he was very pleasant, very efficient, and it cost us. It wasn't like a cheap brekkie, but you got a couple of eggs, some toast, some bacon, some frites, as they wanted to call them. They're just French fries. And a couple of coffees. And I think that one cost us, that was about
55.
It was something like that. With tip, it was just under 60 or something like that. Yeah, I know, it's airport though, you're going to pay for it. But that's okay, we don't care. So that was to kill some time, and then we went to our gate, sat down, and Walter wrote all his boyfriends on his email, they're all missing him, and his fan club, and I caught up on my emails and on my YouTube videos, to watch and
I wrote my sister and stuff. And
and then they boarded us, and no problems. And what I really found, and if some of you remember my vlog where I was ranting about the fact that people have suitcases and they're getting away with them as carry-ons, and they have these little racks that they're supposed to measure, and if your thing doesn't fit into that rack, your carry-on, then no, they count that as you have to check it and that kind of thing, but no one ever seems to enforce it. They did on this flight. In fact, I was having a great laugh in my head. I wanted to stand and be like that character on The Simpsons that goes, yeah, kind of a thing, because it was obvious these people that these were not carry-ons. These were full-fledged suitcases.
They were carry-ons where they've shoved everything into their carry-on so much that the whole thing expanded to being square, right?
Yeah.
And there's no way they would fit in the overhead cabinets.
And the guy at the gate, letting people through, he would stop them. He'd make them go over. Oh, someone would put up a fuss and go, well, no, this is fine. He'd take them over to that little scale thing, the little rack. And we watched them trying to get it in. Some of them were really determined they were going to get it to fit, and that didn't work. And he went and he got a luggage tag, and he put it on. And then when they go down the ramp to get on the plane, there are people at the end, the cargo staff, who see them come down, and they've got the little tag on it. They take it off and they put it in the cargo hold. Thing is, though, they didn't have to pay for that. Okay, so some of them are playing a game with that, but he nailed all kinds of them. Nobody got out of his sight, and maybe it was because too that they were oversold. So they had oversold by 9 seats. They were asking for 9 volunteers if they would, give up their seat on this flight and take a later flight later in the day. And if they did, now I heard, and I'm still not absolutely sure if I heard this right, because those speakers, blah blah blah, Charlie Brown's teacher, on them. But it sounded like they were offering, if you did that, they would give you a check for $900, or they'd give you a $1,000 travel voucher. And I thought, I know the $1,000 travel voucher is definitely what they said, but they did repeat it a couple of times while we're sitting there waiting. And I'm pretty sure it was a check for $900, and I was thinking, holy shit, maybe we should go later. I don't know, but we didn't. The travel voucher is probably only good on Air Canada for a flight, and who knows, there may be restrictions on that as well. But anyways, we didn't do that. We got on. It was a little squishy on the plane. It looks to me like, well, Walter, you said that the seats weren't lining up with the windows, right? So
yeah, they were it was pretty squishy in there.
So it looked pretty much like they had put in an extra row or two in as well. However, there's times like that when I'm glad I'm very short, because I had lots of leg room, not a problem. The two people sitting, we sat in an aisle across from each other near the back of the plane, and there were two people in their seats, the window and the middle seat, when I got there, and we purposely didn't rush to get on because we knew you get on there before the other people get into your row and your seat is reserved. They're going to be crawling all over top of you anyway, so what the heck. So sat down, didn't have to worry about the overhead bins because we don't take anything that big. Our bags fit right underneath the seat in front of us and ready to go. And we were close to the washroom. Walter always likes to be within.
Well, yeah,
spit
because I like to
distance.
go fairly regular because
And he does.
I've had blood clots in my leg before, and I don't really. I need to move my legs, so.
Yeah. So, anyways, and a lot of other people were back and forth, of course, the washroom. But the two people I was sitting next to, and I figured I'd have to be getting up at some point, never once did they go to the washroom. They were part of the Camel Club. I'm a member of the Camel Club. We can hold it forever, and we did. So that was okay, and they were fine. They were not, doing what some people do, like falling asleep and suddenly their head was on your shoulder. I don't like that. I have to punch them in the face when that happens. I'm so sorry. Was that my elbow? Oh, I must have dozed off like you did. But, we did have a baby right behind us, but it only squeaked for a moment when we were like taking off, and then I don't know, they hit it with a little rubber mallet or something, and that seemed to knock it out for most of it. Except for the other lady that had that baby. You said you're standing in the line waiting to use the washroom, and she had a look of, I've got a baby here, and I've got a diaper in another hand, and at any moment this kid's going to explode.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of let her go in ahead of you, you
Yeah.
and another gentleman there. Yeah, because no one wants an exploding baby on an airplane. That's pretty gross. So anyways, it was a smooth flight, saw 2 movies on the way down, and took about a little over 5 hours. In fact, we were delayed slightly because apparently they were trying to locate a new seat pad. It was in the row in front of me. We're not really sure what happened there. Don't know if it was a horrible accident or something gone wrong, but they got that fixed up real quick. And actually, we arrived here in Vancouver pretty much on the time they said we're going to arrive. They said we'd be here Vancouver time 2:11, and it was pretty much 2:11. So then we got through the airport. The Vancouver airport, I think, is a little bit nicer than the Toronto one.
Yeah, it makes you feel like more, it's a little homier looking.
Yeah, less cattle prodding.
It's
you know?
less. It's not as industrial.
Yeah, it's got some decor to it. Now, Toronto Terminal 1 is like hardcore industrial. So our bags arrived as well. It was amazing.
We got a cab pretty quick.
Yeah, we got a cab because we actually technically the airport's in a place outside of Vancouver called Richmond. It's kind of a suburb of it, and it's about a 30-minute drive from there to the hotel. We could have taken something called the Sky Train, which is basically their transportation system. It's a combination of an elevated railway and subway. For I think it's $6 to go from the airport.
9.
Oh, is it 9? Okay, $9 to go from per person, which is pretty cheap. You know, that's not bad. But I don't like the lugging. You don't know how busy something like that's going to be, and I really hate dragging a suitcase and
Through the middle of the city.
yeah, kind
I
of
mean,
thing.
a hotel wouldn't have been much more than a couple of blocks away from the station. But since we weren't really that familiar with where we were going, I didn't really want to be looking around the city with hanging onto a suitcase.
And the price wasn't unreasonable. The guy knew what he was doing. He was munching on something along the way, and I think he was also sort of farting. But whatever. But that was fine. I think it ended up, I gave him a $10 tip. It came to $52. So I figure $52 well spent when you don't have the hassle. Right to the door of the hotel, bang, we're in. Got in here, no problem. Everything everything went like clockwork. I was shocked. And I hope the rest of the trip is like that too. So you want to see the room? Well, before we do that, I know there's been some comments here, so let's back it up. Lucy says, have you been to that cool food market accessed by the little ferry?
No.
Granville Island. No, not yet. That's on the list tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today we were just sort of taking it easy, just walking around downtown core. We went off to, there's a lot of high-end stores where we're staying. There's Prada and Gucci and Tiffany's.
Rolex is across the road.
Rolex is across the street. Yeah, not that we're purchasing anything there. Although I did see in the window a really sexy pair of pumps, but you know, that they would just make my calves, you know, pop. But no, and we went to the art gallery.
Oh my Lord, that was a letdown.
Don't go to Vancouver to the City Art Gallery. It was, and I have a video about it that'll be posted at some point in time. $29 each to get in to see what? Nothing. Nothing. You walk in and you thought, well, wait, where's the art? Are they packing it all
And
up?
we kept
Are they
thinking
moving?
about, well, there's got to be more than this.
Yeah.
Right? And no, it was very poor.
They had, first of all, they had something called Hard Edge. It was some display, it was abstract art, it was linear type of art. Actually, I took some pictures of it because there's some interesting ideas there, I thought, for a modern, like, quilt design. So I took some pictures of some of the ones that really stood out for me. But there wasn't a lot of that, and that was the whole first floor.
Yeah, almost the whole first floor, because we did find
Oh,
another gallery in there. That
Which was the most interesting thing in the whole thing, this other
Yeah.
art gallery, and it was like not much of it, but they had a special display of some artist's work, and she does a lot of really weird and imaginative figurines and things, and they're kind of scary. They kind of remind you of the Nightmare Before Christmas kind of thing, you know? That was sort of interesting to see that, but there wasn't a lot of that. And then we went to the second floor, and yeah, they had an indigenous artist that they were featuring, and his art. Okay, I don't want to sound racist, and I kind of like indigenous art, but you know something? After a bit, it all looks the same. It's all a stylized whale with a big grin on its face, or a couple of fish.
I mean, it was nice to see, but it wasn't. The entire gallery was that pretty much that.
Yeah.
And it was.
And we're not talking a lot of pieces either.
Yeah, and it was. It wasn't a lot of pieces. They didn't vary a whole lot. And I guess it was done by stencil. It's not really like he.
Yeah, he
made
makes
the
his own
stencil.
stencils out of.
But then what he did
paper.
was there were several versions of using the same stencil type of thing.
Yeah, and this art gallery doesn't really put label cards next to the art in a lot of cases. They have a brochure, a reusable brochure, like you're encouraged to recycle it, like if you don't want to keep it, printed out on paper. And they had a lot of videos of, you know, and a lot of the videos were the same person. Like it was just on a continuous loop, and we didn't sit down and listen to them. Maybe we should have. We probably would have learned something, but
Yeah, and then there
It
was
wasn't
another
stimulating
display
us.
of another indigenous artist that was a woman that designed, I think she did stuffed toys or something like this.
well, she also would think was a singer,
yeah,
something from the '60s.
and there was a lot of like pictures of newspaper articles of or actual newspaper
And I think she was
articles.
an activist of some sort too.
Yeah. So that was the other part of the display, and it just went over through the 60s to the 70s to the 2010.
Yeah.
And
And there wasn't much to see of it. It was like
wasn't much
newspaper
to see of
clippings.
it. And then that was it. That was a whole art gallery. There wasn't like any like you know, ancient artists or something.
Or paintings, any kind
or
of like, there wasn't any
like
Group of Seven,
British
or
Columbia painters,
Emily Carr, you know,
British
Emily
Columbia
Carr.
painters or something like that.
Yeah, nothing. It was like a complete letdown. And you'll hear it in the video clip when I put it up, but basically we gave it a 0.5 out of 10. I have never seen, it was, in my opinion, it's the worst art gallery I have ever been in my life. It made the art gallery that we have in our town in Oshawa, the Robert McLaughlin Gallery that I used to volunteer for, we both volunteered there for, it makes that art gallery look superb. Absolutely. And to add insult to injury, they charged us $29 a piece for this experience. So $58 for the two of us, and they don't give senior discounts at all. If you have a caregiver, they can come in free. But like, okay, so you're pushing somebody that's half dead in a wheelchair around, they should give the caregiver.
Actually, it's poor. I think it's poor representation of Vancouver.
Yeah.
To have an art gallery that's in that poor shape.
And so there are 4 floors, but the 4th floor was barred. You couldn't go up there. I don't know.
They had some children's program going on up there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see any children.
No, I know.
So I don't know. Maybe that was during the week or something. They do that. But whatever. But
It was a children's program based on that lady, the woman, the activists are.
oh, the Indigenous
Yeah.
person. Oh, okay. So, anyways, basically a letdown. Then we went off and went to the Pacific. What do they call it?
Pacific Mall.
It's just the Pacific Mall, which is downtown. It's a shopping mall, is what all it is. Checked out the sales at Nordstrom's, none to be had, as I already said. But for those of you that are Canadian, the Bay, we went over to the Bay, and the Bay had a Zellers in it. You know how they're doing that with Zellers? Yeah, it's not going to last.
It wasn't very good.
That's not going to last, So, but we hadn't seen one because we didn't have one there's one in Toronto, a couple of spots in Toronto where the Bay has made this part, the Zellers and that. And for those of you that are Americans, Zellers was one of our stores that we had for years and years and years and years in Canada, and it was bought out by Target, and Target redid the stores and did all kinds of things and made it Target, and then Target failed in Canada, and Zellers was no more, and so Walmart reigned supreme, and so they decided now they're bringing back Zellers, but in this store within a store concept.
Well, basically, they're not spending any money other than making room in their stores for it.
Yeah, they're playing on the nostalgia that Canadians had. And yeah, I remember Zellers. Zellers was crap when it was around then. I mean, people get this idea in their head that Zellers was such a wonderful store. No, it was just been around for a long time.
And basically, the menswear in that section of Zellers was basically a rack of t-shirts and some underwear.
Yeah. So really, so let's just see what people are saying here. So yeah, Lucy, as we said, we haven't been to that cool food market yet, but that whole area is very cool, and there's a quilt shop there called the Clothworks, yeah. That I think I reviewed a couple of weeks ago on Idiot Quilter, their online presence, but I want to go there. But that's tomorrow. And there's something called aqua buses, or they're water taxis. But basically, you can get a day pass for this, and this water taxi will take you to that island. But there's also other things, like you can go to BC Place, which is what is BC Place? It was Convention Center kind of thing. But
no, it's the stadium.
Oh, okay. It's where they had the Olympics one year. Yeah.
No, that's not where the Olympics.
Oh, I thought that was where the Olympics.
Well, actually, I think they used that stadium for the Olympics, but then there's also an Olympic Park.
Oh, okay. Where's the Olympic Park?
It's down by the Science Center, I think.
Okay, and the Science Center's down there too. So basically, if we buy a day pass, we can hop on, hop off at all these places, and that might be something interesting to do tomorrow. Because tomorrow's our last full day in Vancouver before we pick up our rented car, and then we're off to Victoria,
yeah.
At the island to take the ferry and everything like that. And so places we're going to see around there as well. Let's see. Patsy says, you mean you didn't sleep in a tube? If you mean the airplane, yeah. No, I was wide awake. And Lucy says, in other words, 2 pints. Yeah, basically, Lucy. Yeah. We don't really call beer. Well, we do.
Yes, we do.
We do have pints, but in pub places.
Yeah, well, I say I order a pint.
Yeah, but did you see the word pint on the menu at Alt? No, you did not.
No, usually what it is when you order a draft here in Canada, the default is a pint. So,
but in England, of course, everything's a pint. But but anyways, yeah. But you're right, Lucy. It was basically 2 pints. Yeah. Let's see. Julie says, time to buy some MREs and eat like a soldier in the field. What are
What are
MREs? You people in your short forms. I don't know. Julie, explain MREs. I don't know what it is. Mozilla's here. Hello, Mozilla. Cheryl's here. Hi, Cheryl and Heidi. And Shelly. Shelly says, look at you two in matching shirts. Too cute.
No, actually,
No,
we're
they're
not.
different. They're actually different colors of blue, but mine's a little lighter blue and it's a different pattern completely. Mine's a batik. No,
No,
mine's
mine,
not a batik.
yours
No,
not
mine's
a
not a
batik, and mine is.
But yours is a batik. But yeah,
I
they're
may
close.
change my shirt when we go out to eat because I don't want to look like Bob Zeitman.
Right. Well, no. People will figure that you're trying to look as good as me, and we know you're going to fail.
Yeah, well.
So yeah. Oh, Andy's here. Hi, Andy. Luane is here. Just seeing what everybody's trying to catch up here. Shelly says, I had one chance at $900 each for delaying a trip, but unfortunately we're not able to delay. I'd totally take that if I could. Yeah,
Well, it would depend.
yeah.
I
It
mean,
depends. If you're not in any kind of, you have to be someplace at a very specific time and you can do that, work in your schedule, sure, by all means, why not? Glenna's here. Hi, Glenna. Luane says you don't want an exploding senior either. True. Marilyn's here. Hello, Marilyn. Lunsden Key is nice. Have you heard of Lunsden Key? Linsdale?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
I'm assuming, Mozilla, that's out here somewhere where we are, or you wouldn't bring it up. But we haven't seen, we'll have to look that one up. Hi, Jan. Lou says, I'm glad I didn't go to the art gallery when in Vancouver. Granville Island was great. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one in North Vancouver.
Oh,
Yeah, that was on my list of things to do if we run out of other things to do.
yeah. Okay, so that we do know about that. You see, Walter does. I just go along for the ride. As I've said before, he's my travel agent. I say to him, what are we doing today? I go, okay, fine. Let's do that. Okay, I don't know if this person is a troll. This Redux, what is this live stream exactly? I'm not answering the question. We'll keep our eye on that one. We may have to moderate that person out of here. Heidi says, meals ready to eat. Oh, okay. MRE, meals ready to eat. Yes, okay. Actually, last night for Din Din's, we went to Subway because there was a Subway close to here, and we got the rice bowls.
Yeah, but we went to a yuppie food market called Urban Eats, and
Yeah.
they had a lot of supposedly ready-to-eat meals, but we didn't see anything we liked.
Yeah.
So we thought,
We'll just
get a
get,
Subway.
because we were too tired to go someplace and do that whole thing. Boy, we're hearing something going on out in the hall.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Hi, Patricia Bennett. Heidi says military field rations. Marianne is here. Kathy is here. Yes, the shirts do go with the picture behind us. That was on purpose. No, it wasn't. Julie says, would you have to report that $900 from the airline as a taxable income? The better question there is, would you?
I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be doing that. No. Probably technically, you probably have to, but
No, actually, technically, I don't
But you
think you
don't.
necessarily have.
how would they know?
No,
Don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut.
not unless they gave us a tax receipt with that.
Yeah. NMRE is in little tin like a can of sardines. The military kids have those when they are on the field.
Okay.
Okay, no, we weren't eating that. Oh, Luane says, well, even we can hear that. Yeah, I don't know what that was outside.
Might have been the cleaning staff.
Yeah, it might be cleaning staff anyways. So, speaking of which, I'm going to take you on a little tour of where we're staying here. I'm just going to switch the camera around on my iPad. And I hope I can.
Well, you're not filming on that one.
Oh, that's
You're
right. I
filming
have
on
to
that
do it
one.
on that one. Okay. Right. So, okay. Let's see here.
Can you turn the camera
Yes,
around?
I can turn the camera around. Here we go. Okay, we'll take you on a little tour. I hope I don't make you sick. All right, let's go right to the door so you get a perspective of what we got when we came in here first. So the front door here, there's a little closet right here. Okay, so here, you can see that's where we're sitting. So we have this living room, dining room sort of a thing. It's a bit sparse on the furniture, but that's okay. Lovely art. And of course the usual bathroom, the bedroom. Bedroom's a good size. We have a king and a view outside. I'll show you the view in a minute. Television in here, all that kind of thing. Another television here and the sitting area where we're filming this from. And then we have this little, I don't know what this is. They've got it set up sort of like it can be an office space, but it's got these windows. It's sort of an indoor patio kind of a thing because it's kind of separated by glass.
Almost like it's a little dining area for the kitchen.
Yeah. And here's the kitchen area. So yeah, we have a kitchen. This is, we have full-size fridge, a dishwasher, full-size stove, microwave, and it comes with an espresso machine over here as well. I know we're slumming it on the Nespresso. It's not like our nice machine at home. But this is kind of nice. Here's a view. Here's what we're seeing right now. We are right downtown Vancouver. And if you look up, look way up, of course you can see what kind of weather we're having. And last night I took some video of the lights.
12th floor.
We're on the 12th floor, and there is a keg down there. And right down there, you see where that white car is? That whole part underneath the keg, that's that urban fair, the gourmet market we were talking about. But there's tons of places. And right across the street, and I don't see anybody in it right now, but there's a pool and a hot tub, and there are people in it. And this weather is not really conducive to what I would consider going into a pool or even a hot tub like that, but apparently people do. So yeah, so that's what we see out of our window. And actually, it's not all, I guess you would consider this, what, a suite?
Yeah, it is a suite, and I think this place used to be a condo of some sort, but now they've changed it into a hotel. And it's actually fairly reasonably priced, and compared to the hotels in this area. So, well, actually, this is listed as a hotel. So,
Yeah. So what are we paying for this a night?
we're paying $219, almost $220. So, a night.
So that's really not bad, given. Oh, I think we're on a little crooked here. Let me see if I can straighten this up. Yeah, that's good enough. So yeah, and like I said, we're within walking distance to anything we want to go to. So, and in fact, even when we get the rental car, we're just a block away from where we pick up the rental car. So that's good too.
I think technically we're on the 11th floor because they don't have a second.
Oh yeah, they don't have a second floor. They have a 13th floor though.
Yeah.
But 2, I think, is an unlucky number in Chinese culture, and of course
There's
Vancouver,
a lot of Chinese people.
There's lots of Asian Chinese people here. Let's see. Kelly's Cruises, Crafts, and Quilts is here. Hi, Kelly. Yes. Well, actually, it's not that windy,
No, not today. No.
but it is definitely rainy. Yeah, for sure. There'd be a few of you on here, and you know who you are, that you would melt with the rain, Jan. Kelly says, rain does not deter people that live in southwestern BC. Apparently not. Well, they're used to it, right? Lots of it. Yeah, exactly. If you wait for the rain to stop, you'll never do anything. Well, we're here. We're not sitting around waiting for it.
He's calling it a sunroom. Sewing with Louie.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. I suppose
Yeah, so-
that is probably what it is, yeah. Jan says, Stephen, do you think you can bring the camera a bit closer? Your picture is blurry, and it's not on ours, and I'm watching the same thing. So let Jen either clean your eyeballs or clean the screen on your thing, because I am watching on here. Okay? I see what you see, and it's not blurry for us, so go away, Jen. Janet Lloyd's here, and Brenda Mitchell is here. Hello to both of you.
Well, it might have gone blurry when you stuck it out the window because it focused on the window.
Oh, maybe that's what you're talking about. Is that what you're talking about,
Yeah.
Jan? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, maybe that was it. Hard to know. Give me more details. Jan says, lovely place you guys have, and Ontario's gorgeous weather, tee. Yeah, I know. Rub it in, Jan. Rub it in. Nancy says they had 80 degrees in Wisconsin on Wednesday and Thursday, and today is 32 and snowing. Yeah, how nice. Diana says hers is blurry also.
Yeah, I think what happened is
Must have been.
when I looked out the window earlier and I was filming something, I had to push the focus on the.
Oh, it probably was focusing on the glass. Yeah, that might have done
on
it.
the
Yeah.
glass.
Let's see. Jan, missed you so much yesterday. Jan, missed you so much yesterday, Stephen. Okay. Not sure what that means. Kelly says, I guess we can't meet in Abbotsford either, gentlemen. I'm going camping as of Thursday. Yeah, I remember you telling me that, and it just didn't work into our schedules. Oh, well, maybe sometime in the future. Stephanie says, we had supposed to get snow Monday night to Tuesday morning. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess, you know, we're all jumping the gun for nicer weather. So, whatever. So, I heard from my brother again. He sent me an email on Friday. And he said, so when exactly is, he says, so I guess, are you all packed and ready, he said, for your flight? And what's your schedule? So I sent him back a copy of our itinerary, because Walter had it all written out and everything, like where we're going, what days, dates, where we're staying, phone numbers, and all that kind of stuff. So I sent that to my brother, and I told my brother so what the dates were that we would be in Abbotsford. And, you know, I suggested to him, you know, if you guys want one of those days when we're there, we can maybe get together, do lunch, do dinner. You see, secretly, what I'd like them to do is invite us for dinner to their place, because I would love to see their place, because we've never been out here to see it. We've seen a picture through Google Maps. Walter found it. Of course he did. But that's it. So we'll see. But I don't want to put any kind of pressure on them, you know, to feel that they need to entertain, although they really should. But, you know, I am his only brother. But we'll see. But that's not for another week. Actually, what is it, a week from yesterday?
I think so, yeah, a week Saturday, this Saturday.
The 22nd,
yeah.
that when we go to Abbotsford, yeah. But we won't arrive in Abbotsford on the 22nd until late in the day, because we're coming from Nanaimo, which is out on the island, and everything. And by the time we get cross on the ferry and then down through that part of Vancouver and out to Abbotsford, it'll be late in the afternoon anyways. But the next couple of days are free.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we're going to see in Abbotsford, because I looked at on YouTube things to see and do in Abbotsford. If you want to hike, and I don't, it looks exciting.
Well, we have a car, we can drive somewhere else.
Well, yeah, and we may be driving somewhere else. How far are we from Chilliwack?
Not that far.
I used to love their music. I had all their albums, Chilliwack, Canadian group. That was a place too. Whatever, I'm trying to be funny, it's not working.
I think there's some falls in Chilliwack.
Oh, is there? Oh, how nice. Gail's here. Hi, Gail. In Ohio, she says they've had 70 degrees today and it's 61 and raining. Okay. Kelly says, we always go camping in April, just down the river a ways. It's the shakedown trip each year because it's only 20 minutes from home. Oh, okay. Yeah, and the place we're staying at in Abbotsford, it's 10 minutes away from where my brother lives. I didn't Walter said he knew that and had planned it that way. That's his story and he's sticking to it. But
well, there aren't any hotels closer to
no.
where your brother lives.
But anyways, so we'll see what happens. So there is a retreat for the Quilters Way people. That's the group, you know, that I belong to, with Kim Jameson Hurst, who runs it out of Calgary, where she lives. And this weekend was a retreat for the members. And I have checked in a couple of times with them. They had their cocktail party, icebreaker cocktail party by Zoom. It's all done by Zoom, of course, on Friday night. So when we came back up after we had dinner in the hotel, I clicked into that. Isn't technology amazing for this? If this 4 years ago when we were in Australia, we wouldn't have been able to do this. I had to upload.
Now, mind you, in Australia, when we were in Australia, a lot of the places the Wi-Fi wasn't as good as the ones here in North America.
Mm-hmm.
They hadn't caught up yet with, and I don't know if they've caught up yet as far as their technology is.
But I'm really surprised that we're able to do this just as if we were at home, kind of a thing. So the Wi-Fi here is really good, and it's free. So that's pretty good too. Most places now have free Wi-Fi, but the connection is really good. So you're welcome. Jan says, you guys just got really sharp. Okay, Jan, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. It's not on our end. It's your internet connection.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. Because we are seeing exactly as if we were you right now, here, on here. And our internet connection is good, so it's not going blurry. If yours is going a little pixely at times, there's a problem with the internet connection. But then again, we've had this discussion before, haven't we, Jan, about you being on Rogers? I'm just pulling your, I'm not, I mean it, Jan. No, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. What else is being said here? In the boondocks of Abbotsford is Chitter Chatter Quilt Shop. Oh, okay. I have on my, actually on my phone and iPad, I have a list of quilt stores in BC. I found a listing for all of them. And like I said before, if we get to one or two or something, we get to one or two. This is not a trip to buy lots of fabric, because I don't, unless I see something I cannot get anywhere else, and I really love it, I'm not buying any fabric. But I definitely do want to go to that one we were talking about earlier on Grenville Island. Check that out, only because it's here. Debbie says, go across the Capilano Suspension Bridge in North Vancouver if you find nothing to do in Abbey. Well, we talked about that.
We talked about that. There's also something called the Lynn Conservation Area where it's free, rather the Capilano one's like $55 each. And the other thing is that it's not so much spending the money, it's I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to walk across it.
Walter is afraid of heights. I don't have a problem with heights. Mine's small spaces. But you know, I can take
a
or
lot of
leave
money
it
to spend to go
to
walk across
and
the
to
bridge.
shit your pants in fear. Yeah.
I mean, the one thing is Capilano, I think what else you do is you prefer the $55 that it is a park that you go and do a lot of hiking in and walking around in and stuff like that. And if it's a shitty rainy day, I don't really want to spend the money to walk around someplace that.
I mean, not saying it's out.
It's not out of the question.
Out of the question.
It's just not high priority on the list.
We're handling this trip like a couple of senior citizens. What we see, we see. What we don't, we don't. We're not putting pressure on ourselves to do everything that needs to be done. We did that when we were younger. We go all the time. I mean, after we're finished doing this right now, we're going out for lunch somewhere. And I don't know what the rest of the day will bring. In fact, that'll probably be the highlight of the day, lunch, kind of a thing. And we'll probably come back and have like, little nibblies later on tonight and probably watch YouTube videos or put on the TV or whatever. Walter will probably be studying the next day's organization. He likes to fine tune the itinerary and stuff like that. It's not home. And that's fine. Oh, that was something too. Okay, so you know we have a Ring system, security system, right? And we just purchased, and when I say we, Walter, ordered 3 Ring cameras for the house a few days before actually we were leaving on this trip. We got them all set up and hooked up in the house and everything. So, you know, there isn't an inch of our house, even the cat wouldn't be able to hide if we still had the cat, from the videos that are in there. And of course, it's linked into our telephones, right? Into our phones, our iPhones. And so if someone trips one of our alarms, we immediately get a notification. So we're just got started. We just got on the road to drive to the airport from home. We're gone about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And my phone rings. And there's a guy on the end of the line saying that our alarm system had got off. Is everything okay? First of all, I almost thought it was a scam, because when we pay for the protection service with Ring, and in some areas it said that there were live monitoring, in others not. And I thought in our area we didn't have that yet, that service. Well, apparently we do. So I said, oh, no, everything is fine and everything. I had to give him my password and everything. And I thought, well, this is cool. I said to him, I didn't know
Yeah,
you
because we
did
couldn't
that.
find anything on the cameras that showed anything. So.
No. So my theory was, we have a sensor down in our rec room, but just before we left, I pulled the vertical blinds across the patio doors at that level to close them. Well, you know how there's that big white, usually there's that weight on the chains, and sometimes when you're pulling on it, the weight kind of goes up and stays there, like you're supposed to be hanging at the bottom of your chain, right? And it just gets caught. And I didn't want to fool around with it at that point, so I just left it. What I think happened was it released, the weight released for whatever it was stuck on and dropped down to the bottom. Because the sensor points into that window or into that set of doors and the curtains probably moved a little bit, and they're very sensitive. And it set it off, like it detected motion. And that's why the siren went off. But anyways, we said, no, we're fine and everything like that. So we learned something on the trip. Of course, Walter then's getting panicky. Well, maybe we should go back and check. I said, I can see all the cameras. The Ring doorbell didn't go off. I know which sensor went off. We're fine. There's nobody there. So, yeah, we didn't turn around and drive back for that. But anyways, that was kind of something interesting. But when you'd find that just before you're leaving on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then Walter said, well, maybe it's a bat. We have a history of just before we go on trips, we usually have a bat in the house. Don't ask me why, but we do. And I said, nah, too early in the season and we haven't been outside leaving the door open for it to get in. Here's something really stupid. So we're here, we're looking on our camera and we see this thing in the ceiling down in the rec room. And I said, Walter, what's that thing? He goes, bat. I said, it is not a bat. It looks like a white cube hanging on the ceiling. Where'd that come from? We never had one of those before. And I'm studying it. I'm trying to blow it up on my camera to see what it is. Okay, idiot. Finally figured it out. It's the ceiling vent for the furnace that's under there. Something we don't look at every day. And it was just the angle of the camera in the rec room and the way it made it look like it was a bigger thing and it was hanging from the ceiling. Yeah. I was thinking maybe aliens got in our house and are bugging it or something, or someone did sneak in and they planted their own device. I don't know. Yeah. Should write a book as well. So let's see what people saying here. Kelly had to go. Bye, Kelly. And Jan says, thanks, Julie. Currently sharp. Okay, everybody's giving suggestions for Jan. Yeah. Yeah, so what else can we tell you about today? Nothing. You didn't buy anything? Well, I went to the Apple store. I did buy something at the Apple store, but it was just a little connection device. As an accessory, just a connection device that I thought I should have. And yeah, so like I said, next stop is we're going off to have lunch somewhere. And we will do more lives pending technology. They will not always, like today we kind of planned to do this one close to our usual time. But the ones in the future may not happen like that. There may be ones during the middle of the week. They may come during the day, might come in the early evening for you, your time, depending on what time zone you're in, because we're not in our usual time zone. It gets confusing. And there may be a couple of, I recorded a vlog this morning when Walter was still in bed, and I was having my coffee, and I did about a 20-minute vlog or so on that and realized I pushed the wrong button. All I had was a picture of me, not the video. So I was going to redo it, but then thought we would do this instead. So, okay, so I think it is time to say goodbye. Thanks, Julie. And Lucy says lots of cool cafes in downtown Vancouver. Oh yeah, there's tons of places to eat. Our biggest decision now will be decide where we're going to go. So anyways, we're going to get on with that. Thanks for coming in and joining us today. And there'll be more from us on location in Vancouver and other parts of BC on this trip. And hope you have a good one.
Somebody wants to know what pattern I use for my shirts.
Oh.
It's called the Gosling, Gosling. Take a look for it online. I think it's on threadtheory.ca is a location where you can find it, but you can find it from other suppliers. So it's a So Def pattern by the magazine called So Def. So,
okay. All right.
Good luck.
Yeah. And if you need more of that information, just email me or something, and I'll pass it on to Walter, and he can email you back or whatever about it. Okay, guys, we're going to let you go, and I don't know how, since I've never done a live this way before, how I disconnect us, but we're going to. So see you guys again soon. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.